What's good, fam? You know what it is. It's Whiskey Wednesday. I am Mayo, the 40-ounce Poppy. Welcome to episode 4. Yes, indeed, episode 4. Guess what? Today, it's my birthday. Yes, indeed. I'm celebrating my birthday, and I'm celebrating it with you, of course. And thank you all for joining. Welcome. Listen, special day. It's my birthday. But not only that, we're still in our Irish whiskey month. So we're still talking about Irish whiskey, right? So here's the thing. Thinking about my birthday, right? And I kind of reflect on, so for me, my birthday is my new year, right? As it should be for everyone, right? It's my new year, day I was born, the whole nine. So I get to reflecting, thinking about things that are very important to me. And one of the things that I realized that one of my happy places, the mountains. All right, I'm a city boy by heart, and I'm a city boy to the core. Not in the way you think, but I'm a city boy, all right? You know what I'm talking about. Y'all know what I'm saying when I say city boy, all right? We ain't talking about that. No, real talk, though. I am a city boy to the heart. I love the city. However, the mountains hold a very special place for me. I love to get away to the mountains it's a place of solace. It's a place of just being out in nature, the fresh air, breathing in the fresh air. So I really enjoy the mountains, just to be able to walk around, hike, get one with nature. I don't walk around barefoot, all right? Don't get it twisted. I still got on some hiking boots. I can't do all that walking around barefoot. Plus, y'all want to see my crusty toes anyways, all right? So let's get into it. But yeah, the mountains are very special to me. So unfortunately, I won't be spending time in the mountains today on my birthday, but we will be talking about Glendalough Irish Whiskey. We will be talking about that today. We will be sharing a dram. What I always say, experience whiskey what? One dram at a time. Today is what? Whiskey Wednesday. What are we doing? Come on, man. Y'all know what it is. So look, I said last week I wanted to kind of go into Irish whiskey, right? A little bit of the history of Irish whiskey. And here's the thing. Irish whiskey has a storied, like when I say storied, it's up, it's down, it's like life. It's their Irish whiskey's path has been like a roller coaster. Y'all see how that little effect we got going on? Hey, so, hey, man, I'm sorry. I'm just having fun, man. It's my birthday. I'm cutting up. Matter of fact, I've been cutting up all month, but I can't show you all those clips because everything is not to be recorded, if you know what I mean. Hey, it is Wednesday. You know what we do on Wednesday. Hey, all right, come on. Look, back to Irish whiskey. So Irish whiskey has had a roller coaster over time. However, dare we say that Irish whiskey started this whole thing? Because let's dive into the history a little bit. Now I got to check my notes. Y'all bear with me. All right, so I did some research. You know how I do. I'm not going to bring you fake news, but I had to do some research on this. So look, Irish whiskey around the 6th century, Irish monks they were influenced by the Arabian distillation. They were influenced by the Arabian distillation process that they encountered. So they brought that back to Ireland and created what's called, I can't even say this word. I'm going to have to put it up here. I'm going to type in the letters, but I believe it's Uche Beta, which means water of life. Now, if you do any research in the Scotch and bourbon and just whiskey as a whole is considered water of life, but in different languages, right? So I think I said that correctly. If I didn't, I invite you all to help me in the comments. Let me know if I said that properly. I believe I did. So Uche Beta, which means water of life, around the 6th century, right? So let's move to the 1100s. The Anglo-Normans came to Ireland, and the whiskey distillation, that's when it really started to spread, okay? Now, remember last week, who did we talk about last week? Y'all know, man, we was talking about Old Bushmills. 1608, Old Bushmills got the official license from King James. 1700s, Irish whiskey becomes popular in Europe, so everybody's just throwing it back, you know what I'm saying, having a good old time in Europe. And then around 1800s, Irish whiskey. Y'all come on, say that three times. Irish whiskey hits its peak. All right. And so Dublin, as we talked about before, was a major player. All right. So what do we say? We said, I think Dublin over everybody. Dublin. Like, Dublin might be the king of Irish whiskey. Just that city alone. I don't know. I don't want to start no arguments, no fights, but we'll leave it at that. All right, so around the 1800s, 1830, the coffee column still was invented. That changed the game for Irish whiskey, for the production, the whole nine. Late 1800s, the popularity starts to decline. That was partly due to the rise of Scotch. Hey, another one of my favorites. I just love whiskey. Y'all know how it is. So Scotch started to make its climb up. Irish whiskey started to decline. You know, ebb and flows, ebb and flows. One day I like bourbon. The next day I like rye. One day I like Canadian whiskey. No offense on Canadian whiskey. I just haven't really found one that I like. But we're not talking about that. That's at a later time. Come on. Stay on track, baby. Stay on track. Y'all got to help me stay on track. Come on. All right. So Scotch whiskey taking its Scotch whiskey. What I want to say. Scotch whiskey starts to rise in popularity. Cool. So right around 1916, 1921, the Irish War kicks off. So now that kind of disrupts the whiskey production. The 20s and 30s, y'all know what happened. Prohibition, all that. They want to shut down, us enjoying whiskey. Well, us, I wasn't alive, but the folks who were alive. So 20s and 30s was prohibition. Right around 1966, three major players, Jameson, Powers, and Cork Distillery, merged to form the Irish Distillers Limited, right? So they started consolidating resources to survive. From then on, Irish whiskey starts to see a resurgence in the 70s, 80s, starts to kind of, see a resurgence. Around the 90s, 2000s, that's when you start seeing more distillers start to come online who start producing some great Irish whiskeys. Now, we get into 2011, that's where Glendalough comes into play. So Glendalough Irish whiskey, they're right in the mountains of Wicklow. All right, you see what I did there? I started talking about my affinity for the mountains. Then we started talking about where Glendalough is located in the valley of where? Wicklow Mountains. Do you see that correlation? Now, there's some other special things that happen to me in the mountains that we can't talk about on today. We're all adults. Most of us, all of us are adults. Use your imagination. But we won't divulge that. Anyway, let's just say a couple cherries. Anyway, we ain't going to talk about those cherries, and we ain't going to talk about how they got popped and anything like that. Don't worry about that. So look, back to Glendalough. All right, 2011, Glendalough starts up, and they are, as we said, nestled in the Wicklow Mountains and the Glendalough Valley. They are big on sustainability, huge on sustainability. They have a forager. A forager, because they make gin as well as whiskey. But they have a person who actually goes out and forages the flowers, the botanicals for the gin, all of this. That's what she does, and that's phenomenal. Their head distiller, Rowdy Rooney, is I think he started right, if I remember correctly, he started right at the beginning. So he is the head distiller, Rowdy Rooney, and he handles all the business when it comes to distilling the whiskey as well as the gin. Whiskey has been from what I understood through research, it's becoming more of his main love, even though they have their gin. But this right here, this is the double barrel Irish whiskey, single grain, baby. Single grain is what we have going on today. Now, let's talk a little bit about Glendalough. If you see their bottles, all their bottles have this logo. Now, this is not just any fluke person. Their inspiration is drawn from St. Kevin. All right? St. Kevin St. Kevin had money, had privilege, all of that. He left the wealth, left the privilege, and decided to live a life of simplicity. And he was, that's the story, this is how the story goes. Story goes, found his way into the Wicklow Mountains and was just hanging out, decided to stretch his arms out, and had his arms out, and as the story states, a blackbird perched itself up on his arms, on his hands, and laid their eggs. So now if you look at the logo, you'll see that there's a blackbird right there. So imagine, St. Kevin's like this, he's looking for a life of simplicity, the bird comes, sits on his arm, lays its egg. So the story goes that St. Kevin just stood there until the eggs were hatched. The birds, the little chicklets, birdlets, what are they called? Till the eggs were hatched. And then realized that's where he needs to be. Now I'm going to tell y'all something. I don't know. You know how folklore goes, right? No knock on St. Kevin. I'm trying to understand how to use the bathroom. How did he eat? Did he just keep it like this the whole time? Did he walk around? That, my friends, is something we'll have to try to figure out. I don't know. But with St. Kevin leaving his wealth and his privilege, founded and created a settlement in the 6th century down there in the Glendalough Valley. And hey, that's how we have Glendalough whiskey based off of St. Kevin. So look, let's get into it. Let's get into it. Ooh. All right, come on, y'all. Let's get into it. Oh, I didn't do it right. There we go. Gotta have a little clink, cha-ching. This is their single grain double oak expression. They started off with American bourbon barrels, and then they finished it off with Olorosso sherry cask barrels. All right, so you know this is a theme that's going on, right? So that's how they started, but it is single grain. The proof on this, if I remember, the proof is 84. 84 is the proof on it. So it's not too bad. Coming in at 84, let's get into it. Let's try the nose. Okay. I like that. It's not, I'm not gonna say it's light. Definitely a lot of fruit on the nose. Not too much ethanol, which I love. I mean, it's definitely inviting. The color is a light amber. All right, come on, let's go. Okay. Wow. That's interesting. It is, I mean, this Irish whiskey is very, I mean, when I say approachable, it's just, I don't know. I don't know. Oh my, this is my first time having this, so I don't know. All right, let's try it. You know how we do. You got to get the first sip is always good to get your palate primed, right? And let's go for a second sip. Okay, I like that. It's definitely fruity. What I mean by that, it's to me for whiskey, it's fruit forward. Again, this is just how my palate is receiving it. It is fruit forward. For what I'm getting, I get a little bit of spice on the back end. It doesn't coat the tongue like some whiskeys that I've had. What I mean by that, easy. It doesn't coat the tongue. It feels light. I think that's what I want to say. It feels light. It feels light, almost refreshing. Not in a bad way. I guess because sometimes when it comes to whiskey, we might be I'm used to certain things a lot of times when it comes to whiskey. I'm always open to experiencing. Think about that. I'm always open to experiencing new things when it comes to whiskey. I'm not upset with this. It caught me off. I think it caught me off guard. That's what it is. On that third sip, it is, oh man. The flavor, I do like the flavor that it lingers. This definitely brings me to the mountains. And it brings me to the mountains on a cool, fresh morning, like a cool, early spring morning, which is crazy. That's where this takes me to. Like, it takes me to an early spring morning. It feels crisp. This Glendalough feels crisp. And I think that's what kind of throws me off a little bit. It's 84 proof, which is not bad, right? This is Now I got some good. Oh, on that, what was that, 4? I think it was the 4th sip. On that 4th sip, I think I got some good chocolate notes, slight chocolate notes, slight sweetness. That the sherry cask definitely really influences this whiskey heavily. And I'm not upset with that. Again, my palate, I'm enjoying it. This, like I said, this takes me, where does this take me? To the mountains, to a spring morning in the mountains, sitting on a deck, I don't have to sit on. You know what? I think I would love to walk the trail. I think this would be a hiking whiskey. A morning hiking whiskey. That's what this is for me. This Glendalough is a morning hike. Is a whiskey I would take on a morning hike. That's what this is. Hands down. Does it deserve? Some not deserve. I'm not gonna say deserve. Is it a keeper for me? It's definitely a keeper. Would I share this with folks? Absolutely. I would share this with definitely with someone who has never had Irish whiskey before. I would share this with them because it is approachable. It doesn't like pound your chest. It really brings your chest. It invites you in. That's what I love about this. Crisp, clean, delicious, inviting, refreshing almost, which is wild to say about a whiskey that's refreshing. Oh man. Glendalough, I love it. I like it. I'm not gonna say I like it. I'm enjoying this, and this is something definitely. I think this is, for me, it's not a thumbs down or hands down or nothing like that. I appreciate what they're doing there. The sustainability for me is it's a big thing for me, and then also just you can get the influence of how they use around the Whitlow Mountains. You can tell they use everything that's probably within their possession for distilling this whiskey. This is delicious. Yeah, it's delicious. I'm with it. Hey, Glendalough, I appreciate you all. I really appreciate. I appreciate the story behind it. I appreciate everything that you all do. I appreciate. I'm enjoying this whiskey. The more that I'm drinking, I wouldn't even see. This is a whiskey I wouldn't put on ice. I would sip this neat. I would definitely do a couple cocktails with this. Indeed, I would not. I think water might mess it up a little bit. I'm not gonna test it out with water right now. But this is a keeper. Glendalough, I'm with y'all. We rocking this. Listen, next week starts in April. We're going into Scotch. Oh my gosh. Specifically single malt. Yes. Listen, can y'all do me a favor? You rock with me, which I know you do, and I rock with y'all. Just a little thing, everybody says, hit the like, hit the comments, hit the subscribe, hit the notifications, do all of that. Look, man, I just want y'all to come back, drop some comments. If you've had this Glendalough, let me know what you think about it, all right? Or if you have some other whiskeys that you want me to taste or talk about, man, put them in the comments because we're going to put them on deck. No, not a problem. I told y'all, it's Whiskey Wednesday, so we talking all things whiskey, all right? Drink responsible. Be safe. Give love, show love, spread love. Until next week, it's my birthday. I got to go party. I got to go have some fun, do some shenanigans. Don't worry about it. But you know what it is. Till next week, love y'all, man. Peace.